Fox 17 Morning News at 5 starts right now.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much for choosing us dark and early on this Tuesday. My name is Savannah Fish. Of course, we have a lot of news ahead, but first let's toss things over. Starting today, more than 7,000 Kent County residents will be able to book an appointment for a COVID-19 vaccine here at the DeVos Place. 3 cases of the Delta variant have been identified in Allegan County. All 3 involve people over the age of 60 years old, and all of whom are fully vaccinated. At the courthouse, a heavily secured building here in downtown Grand Rapids. Glass windows completely shattered. You can hear our feet stepping on it. And that was Governor Whitmer, Dr. Calhoun, and health officials providing an update on the state's COVID-19 response. Now, to recap some main points that we want to talk about, vaccinations are up and cases are down. That's what they talked about. With 7.5 million doses of vaccinations administered, it wasn't just workers and families who received a slice of the stimulus money pie. Thousands of Michigan prisoners received a total of $22.6 million in stimulus money, leading to increased concern for drug trade and violence within prisons. So let's dive right in. Let's talk about this new variant coming out of the UK. Is it more contagious, more dangerous? What do we know about it so far? It's likely that the impeachment process will continue even past the time that President Trump is in office. And the biggest motivation for the impeachment is to disqualify the president. The single article charges the president with incitement of insurrection. If you ask somebody what's one thing that they can't live without, odds are good that they'd say their cell phone. But it turns out the average American cell phone is also highly sought after by cyber criminals. Good morning to you, Alyssa. Well, 2.9 million COVID-19 vaccines were loaded up into FedEx trucks right here at the Pfizer Portage plant. But now the question is, when will people expect to see these COVID-19 vaccines by Pfizer? Well, the answer is health officials hope to have those distributed as early as today. The man accused of killing 8 people in 3 massage parlors around Atlanta last March has been sentenced to life in prison for the slaying of 4 people. Yeah, good morning to the both of you. Well, the nonprofit is called Chill West Michigan, and it's a program that empowers kids by teaching them various board sports and leadership skills. Last week, kids learned how to paddleboard, and in return, they learned the power of perseverance. The mood within the last 12 hours has changed so much. What was once chaotic, nightmarish, and honestly really scary is now hopeful, bright, the sun is out, and so are the volunteers and community members. Mask use is being recommended once again as concerns about the Delta variant continue to grow, and some medical professionals are now saying it is as contagious as the chickenpox. Where do we stand with vaccinations now, especially as a lot of major businesses and companies are requiring their employees to be vaccinated? Deanna, well, it's definitely a shocking number. 1 million new COVID-19 cases in just the last 5 days across the country. And here in Grand Rapids at Spectrum, they are experiencing a 20% positivity rate increase in just the last 7 days. After a weekend of celebrations, the Biden-Harris team is getting to work. The president-elect's team has plans to tackle top priorities starting today. Meanwhile, President Trump has yet to concede the race. I want you to take a look at the house now. You see that fire that's coming through the roof? That's what they say makes this so difficult. These new court documents have revealed a lot of disturbing details, but we are now learning that the daughter of the retired oral surgeon who was found dead in Portage told investigators her father and brother argued over money just 2 weeks before his death. If we take a look down this way, this is where things get pretty tricky. It's trying to make it up this hill, and we just saw an accident live on TV.
The company is offering low prices on those routes as well. In fact, Savannah's going to get us some tickets. Beautiful.
Yeah, you guys, I can afford them because they're that low. You guys, Los Angeles, Austin, and Boston, all coming out of beautiful Grand Rapids. These are the newest nonstop flights coming out of Gerald R. Ford International Airport for, get this, as low as $33. Here's the thing. Harry's always very poetic and, you know, life lessons and we want the juicy stuff, Harry. We want the details. We want the drama.
That he's not going to be interesting
enough. It's not going to be anything.
Oh, I think it will.
Oprah
got a lot of juice out of that.
I don't think it was enough. I don't think it was enough.
They spilled some tea.
I want more. Well, there is good reason that President Trump is choosing to end his campaign here in Kent County once again. You may remember that in 2016's election, this was a very important state to President Trump. In fact, he carried the state by only 10,000 votes, or 1 point statewide. But here in Kent County, he carried it by 9,000 votes, or 3 points countywide. Make sure to stay with Fox 17 News for all of your election coverage. We will be on this today, tomorrow, the rest of the week. So make sure you stay with us both on air and online. But for now, live in downtown Grand Rapids, Savannah Fish, Fox 17 News. All it takes is one moment.
The thing about distracted driving is it only takes a split second to be distracted for something really bad to happen.
Almost 7 years later, Jim Freibler doesn't go a day without thinking about the one moment that changed his life forever.
It's tough because my life stopped that day with my son. Nothing finished, you know.
Standing next to the Adopt a Road sign dedicated to his late son and now his life's mission, Freibler shared with me how he lost his 17-year-old son Jacob to texting and driving.
Back in 2014, my son was texting and driving. He crossed the center line, hit SUV head-on, and was killed.
Now, almost 7 years later, Freibler says the loss of his son continues to motivate his mission for change around distracted driving.
This is Senate Bill 409. This is our bill. This is the one that is the true hands-free.
Since 2016, Freibler has been working towards making Michigan a hands-free state, something 26 other states have also adopted. But Michigan is not one of them.
Since 2016, 292 deaths because of distracted driving. 32,000 injuries in the state of Michigan because of distracted driving. Is there a problem? Yeah.
Freibler is working on getting Senate Bill 409 passed with Senator Ruth Johnson and the Transportation Improvement Association. He's opposing another bill we recently told you about, House Bill 4277. The bill is sponsored by Representative Manoogian, which aims to modernize current law and limit distracted driving in Michigan. Freibler says, though, it isn't enough.
They're saying it's all hands-free, but there are some glitches in it. Where our bill, Senate Bill 409, it's a true hands-free bill. Hands-free is hands-free. It means nothing in the hand.
I think as law enforcement officers, we always kind of seem to be one step behind of things. So with the advancements of vehicle technology or even, cell phone technology, we always kind of seem to be behind.
Sergeant Joy Matthews of the Kent County Sheriff's Office says current texting while driving law leaves a lot of room for drivers to drive distracted, and it's a dangerous problem. According to the U.S. Department of Transportation, texting drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a crash. Another report from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration stated distracted driving was the cause of 3,142 deaths across the country in 2019.
With regards to handheld devices, no doubt that if this law does pass, it will significantly reduce the number of crashes and fatalities in our state, which anything that we can contribute to or support that reduces the number of lives that are taken from vehicles or distracted driving, we absolutely do support.
As for when and if Senate Bill 409 could become law, that's not exactly clear. Freibler says in the 7 years he spent advocating for hands-free law, he's learned you have to take it one step at a time, and he's not quitting anytime soon.
It needs to pass this year. It needs to. We're not going to quit until it gets through.